This is September 13th. This is the last time I showed you the rain gauges and all that. This is the rain gauge. There was no rain, but we had rain last night between the 12th and the 13th. So what I'm going to do is take this ruler, put it in here, and show you how we properly test for rain. You slowly drop it in, let it rest on the bottom, and you pull it out. Doing this one-handed is a little tricky, but we can do it. And then you read the numbers. From your pointing perspective, this may be a little hard to read, but basically it is showing that we have 0.09 tenths of an inch of rain. A full inch of rain would be right here where my thumb's at. This gauge is adjusted so the funnel catches the quantity required and fills up properly in the little chamber down there I showed you before. We pour out the chamber after it's empty, after it's been tested, and we're done with testing rain. And that's how this particular model of rain testing occurs. Stick goes in here, rests on the bottom where the bottom of the chamber is. We pull it back up this slot, read the gauge, write it down, and send it up to the NOAA Weather Service. That there, right there, is a rain gauge bucket inside. It's digital, ran by the machine inside. That over there is also a miniature version of this over here. It too has a tipping bucket in there, as well as this one that measures rain, but that one is sent through the satellite antenna right there up to the satellite. It's for a direct link. So we compare the local data with the, well, both of them are local, but we compare the data to make sure the units are accurate. We don't compare it, but NOAA does. And that's how you test for weather. Folks, this is our rain gauge. Last night we had quite a bit of rain come through. I'm guessing maybe a couple tenths of an inch. But I'm going to show you how to properly check this type of rain gauge. Now, this here is our reading stick. Rain gauge stick. It's been calibrated 2 inches. The top of the chamber here has also been calibrated so that the amount of rain collected in this surface area is funneled in and calculated through a little chamber that's down in that hole there. But that's also where we insert the rain gauge stick. So what we're going to do is take the stick and slide it in. You don't want to drop it because you'll splash the water at the bottom. If you splash the water, you get an incorrect reading. Gently sit it in, let it tap the bottom. See, it's at the bottom now. Bottom's way down there. And you sit it for a second and you pull it up. And at the bottom is where you read. Now, this stick was a little wet last night, so it's going to be difficult to read at first. If you can't read a stick like this on the front, which you may not be able to because it is it's kind of hard to read on the camera. But I'll tell you right now, that line of moisture right there, about midway in the stick, you rotate it around, you see it says 0.6. So we had 0.6 of an inch last night. And I'm going to verify that. I'm going to dry off the stick a little. And I'm going to slip it right back in. I want to make sure I get an accurate reading. You don't want to just guess at what you're doing. You pull it back out. And again, it looks like the moisture line does go up to, actually it's just above 0.6 of an inch. It's more like, well, it's close. It's 0.61 inches.